Eagles are exercising the fifth-year option on Jordan Davis's rookie contract. We'll delve into the details of what that means. Plus, they added to the defensive tackle group in the draft with Nebraska's Ty Robinson. Barrett will break down what he brings to the Birds. And the fallout from the prank call to Shedeur Sanders during the draft leads to some hefty fines for the Falcons and their new defensive coordinator. And with that, welcome into Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL, along with Barrett Brooks. I'm Ashlyn Sullivan. With a May 1st deadline looming, the Eagles opted to pick up the $12.9 million option for Jordan Davis for the 2026 season. And we discussed this yesterday. You haven't really seen the production for what that costs for a defensive lineman, but that is what it costs to have a productive defensive lineman these days. Jordan Davis, this is kind of a, you don't want to call it a tryout year, but he's got to prove that he's worth this money, Barrett.
Yeah, it's a prove-it year. It's a trial year, and this is, there could be a possibility they want to sign him back. So he's got to go get it. It's that time. Money's on the line. Let's go.
Yes, a lot of money is on the line for Jordan Davis, that's for sure, as it's time for our three-point stance presented by Toyota. Jordan Davis is going to have to take a big leap in 2025. He hasn't gotten the production and the return on the investment that the Eagles hoped for when they traded him all the way up to 13th overall in the 2022 draft. And we go back to that press conference right after they took Jordan Davis. And I remember Howie Roseman saying to get this production, he's got to get to the quarterback. He has to have a pass rush. That's the biggest thing that I think is lacking right now in Jordan Davis's game.
Well, that's how, usually you're measured as a defensive lineman, not necessarily how you stop the run, but how you rush the passer. And he was a run pass specialist. When we drafted him, we knew he was going to be a run stopping specialist. He's going to be one of those guys who's going to get you, clog up the middle, keep your linebackers free. And that's what they do for him. But look, he was the 13th overall pick. When you have the numbers that he had, you've got to be able to go out there and produce for more than what he was given. I mean, we're talking about a guy that, was at the time, I think he was a little too big, like 355, 360. He's slimmed down. He's in better shape. The last year and a half, he has been in great shape going into this season, and he's played better because of it. He can move around better. He's done everything you needed for him to be, and that's why he's gotten better these last couple of years. I'm looking forward to him playing at another level now. Now that, he doesn't have Milton Williams there, there's a possibility he could be a starter. So he's got to go out there and prove to this team that he's worth the money they're about to pay him. They're about to pay him almost $13 million. You know what I'm saying? But they're picking up this option next year. So next year, the money's going to be on the line. I think this is a prove-it deal this year because they could just rip that contract up and go ahead and pay him more than that, give him a better salary. But he has to prove that he's worth that money.
Right.
And, some decent players on this team. Mario Jomo, he's coming. He can pass rush better than him at this point. He can stop the run. He's showing he has the ability. They went out and got, Ty Robinson. He can go out there, and he's a run stopper, too. So they have talent here that it's going to be, competition is going to be very, very thick. He's got to be able to play.
Right, but it's encouraging for Jordan Davis. One, he's never really been asked to be the guy because he's always had guys in front of him. So this is his opportunity. They're saying, hey, take it. And it's encouraging. He had a sack in the NFC title game, a sack in the Super Bowl. So you're starting to see that production. The question is, will it carry over?
It's got to happen. This is it. You know what I'm saying? The honest guy doesn't lie. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about what you see on paper as far as production is on sacks and stuff like that, but you got to be there. I'd rather be one of those almost getting a sack guys than, just getting 2 sacks during the year. You know what I'm saying? Those pressures mean a lot also.
Yeah, a big opportunity for Jordan Davis this year, that's for sure. And that leads us to number 2. The Eagles are banking big time on really all of the Georgia Bulldogs. That strategy has certainly paid off so far, but they added yet another defensive player from Georgia this past week, and linebacker Smile Mondon. That brings the grand total to 8 Georgia players on defense. And you look at this list and you're like, all right, that's pretty good, Barrett.
This defense right here won a championship in college football. So, all these guys, play together and can, show that they can come in and bring a championship here. We've already won a Super Bowl with the guys we have there. Let's just keep going to the well. Let's see what he can do. Smile Money coming in. I'm looking forward to see what he can do. But I'll tell you what, somebody's turned the corner. Nolan Smith has definitely turned the corner. We already know what Jalen Carter's going to do. But at this point, we've got to see what David's going to do. We need Kobe Dean to come back from an injury. We need, we need a whole bunch of guys to step up and be who they are supposed to be. And those are starters. Keely Ringo, this is his time to be a starter. Smith showed he can play. The Kobe Dean showed they can play. He can play also. Those 2 guys solidified themselves as guys to come in and play and win a championship. It's time for Keely Ringo to go out there and lock it up on the outside. Louis Seam. I thought Louis Seam was one of the best safeties in the league the year that he got drafted. He wasn't in the first round. I mean, ever since that injury, he hasn't played up to, what we thought he was going to play. But in Minnesota, I thought he was going to do a lot more. Seen has great size, like 6'1", 6'2", can run about 200 pounds, come up and hit you. But he's one of those guys that, you put in position, I believe he can play this game at a high level. So maybe this is his opportunity. Maybe, he's going to be that deep safety we were needing, to come in and solidify the position. I love all this competition during camp. This is where it's all about. Camp is going to be one great thing. And that's going to be, like I said, I told you yesterday, that's going to be my number one position I'm looking at. The safety opposite of Blankenship.
Yeah.
That's going to be me. Usually I'm in the offensive line, defensive line, but it's got to be that safety position.
Yeah, it's a huge starting spot up for grabs, and really nothing has solidified in the cornerback room as a whole, and that leads us to number 3 as we stick with Georgia for really all 3 stances today. The other starting cornerback spot, it's Keely Ringo's to lose. The Eagles didn't draft a corner until Mac McWilliams in the 5th round, and he's more of an inside player. The only outside corner they brought in was during free agency with Adoree Jackson. So this really was last year Keely Ringo's job to lose, and we know it went to Quinyon Mitchell, but now you're looking at this. Keely Ringo playing opposite Quinyon Mitchell makes a lot of sense, but he's got to go out and get it.
We're talking about he has the perfect size for an NFL cornerback. He's 6'2". 210 pounds, 207 pounds, and he can run. He's a 4-3 guy. In Georgia, they asked him to do a lot of bump and run, so that was basically his specialty. But here he's going to have to mix it up. He's going to have to play zone sometimes. He's going to have to play man-to-man sometimes. Can he get in the mix? Can he be that guy we can trust outside that won't give up a big play? He has all the intangibles. He has all the, what you need to be a great corner. But he's got to step it up. He's got to show that he's the guy. He's got to go out there and snatch it, will it to be his. He's got to take it. You know what I'm saying? They tell him, come out. No, I got this. I got this. I'm out here for a reason. I'm out here to start. He's got to have that mindset. You look at him. The time they gave an opportunity to go out there and play, he showed that he's an intense player. He'll come up and hit you on the run, do all that stuff. But, hey, you got guys sitting there, pecking at you. You got an older guy. Adoree Jackson, he wants to be here, too. He wants to get the paper. He wants to win a championship. So he's going to give him everything he can. And plus, he's an older player, got a little experience, and he'll probably be the oldest player out there in the secondary. He wants to be out there and play also. So, like I say, that competition, it breeds championships.
Yep,
Can't wait.
Coming soon in training camp.
Hi, what's going on? It's Howie Roseman. I'm with the Eagles. How you doing, brother?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're going to pick you right here.
Awesome. All
right. You're a Philadelphia Eagle. Congratulations. Can't wait to get you here.
Hey, Ty. How you doing? It's Coach
I'm doing great, Coach. How are you?
Hey, congrats, man.
Thank you so much.
I got a lot of excited people in this room.
Same here.
I'm sure you guys got the same thing.
Dogs very well.
Let's go, baby. All right. I'm happy for you. Let's get to work. I'm going to put you on the phone with our defensive line coach, Clint Hurt.
Big dog, how you doing?
Doing great, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Congratulations to you. Let's get ready to maximize this opportunity. You get ready to kick for the damn Eagles now. You got me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right,
sir.
Brother. All right, man. Congrats again. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thank you.
That is the best. Clint Hurt, man, coaches with passion.
Come on now.
Of course he's excited.
He looked like he still play. He looked like he go out there, rustle up some nose guards and then go out there and have a 9-on-7, But, hey, I got chills just listening to that, I went back to where, I got drafted. I got goosebumps. This is amazing, This is amazing.
It makes me cry every year. I'm such a softie. I'm hiding in the back room. Like, oh, no, not again.
And it couldn't happen to a better player, too.
Yes.
A guy more to what I want in a player, a defensive lineman.
Let's get into it. That was Ty Robinson getting the phone call from the Eagles that he was their 4th-round pick, 111th overall. And Robinson, a defensive tackle out of Nebraska, 6'5", 288 pounds. Last year was his 6th season for the Cornhuskers, produced 7 sacks, 13.5 tackles for a loss. He followed that up with a monster performance at the Combine, running a 4.83 in the 40-yard dash. Barrett, he is going to bring a ton to the Birds.
Absolutely, and it won't be real flashy, but what you'll get is a guy that's menacing, a guy that wants to go out there and mix it up. He's going to reset the line of scrimmage. He's definitely every snap going to hit whoever's in front of him and drive him back at least 3 yards, whether it's pass, run. Just watch it on film, how physical he is and how he plays this game. This kid loves football, and Clint Hurt knows he loves football. But watch here. This is him, pass rush move. He makes this guard come around, and then he beats him, simple, smooth, bam, sack. You want to stop the run too? He can do that also. Here it is. This is the best play in football. Pull a backside guard. Here he is. They're going to try to use this little bitty tight end to block him. What? Drives him back. Boom. Drives him into the puller and then goes and hits the running back, takes him down for a loss, then tells him what he's doing. But then he also has recognition and he hustles. Look at Hustle Man. Gets the field. Oh, he reads it, turns around. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to go make a play. And all those fellas, you want a tempo setter, you want a guy to go and make it happen, put him in at fullback. This poor little guy, why would you do that to him? I mean, come on now. His mom going to be calling him. His mom saw that on TV. That's what I'm talking about. The physicality which this guy plays is why they brought him here to the Eagles organization. He's going to hit you in the mouth every single play. Clint Hurd loves those type of players. Every play, whether it's run or pass, he's going to hit you, drive you back at least 3 yards. You want a player like that. And he keeps the linebackers clean. Those linebackers are going to love him, because you're going to keep him clean, because you have to worry about what he's doing instead of worry about what those linebackers are doing.
That's the only type of player, really, a Philadelphia Eagle defense.
Right.
And with more on Ty Robinson and what he brings to the Eagles, here's Amy Fadool with the Bird's Eye View presented by Bush Auto Group.
When the Eagles selected Ty Robinson, they got both a defensive lineman and a scholar. He graduated from Nebraska as a pre-med major, and his studious nature, coupled with his skills all along the line, make him a valuable pick for the Birds.
That versatility is something that I've kind of honed in on, being able to play all over the line. I'm willing to do whatever the coaches need me to do, learn a new role or a new spot, or I'm just looking to work to develop myself and become a better player to help the team in any way I can.
Robinson will be able to learn from a familiar face just how to develop into a better player. Fellow Nebraska Cornhusker and current Eagles center, Cam Jurgens. The Birds' 2022 second-round pick found out on Saturday, right after Robinson heard his name called, that his former teammate will join him here in Philadelphia.
I just found out we drafted Ty Robinson, D lineman out in Nebraska, and I'm telling you, you guys got a workhorse, and it's going to be fun, him coming out here.
Cam was a year older than me when I came in, and so I got to kind of see him grow up and learn the position at center. So we got to battle against each other each and every day, so we were pretty close. And then, when he's been back here for a little bit, just doing some workouts, staying, doing off-season stuff. And I just kept kind of joking with him. I said, make sure you put in a good word for me when you go back. And he's like, oh, trust me, I am. So, me and him, I'm super excited to be back and playing with him and going against him every day.
While you may not know a lot about Ty Robinson, one simple thing can actually tell you quite a bit. Robinson wore the number 9 his last 2 seasons at Nebraska, one of just 10 Husker players to earn a single-digit jersey number. It's something voted on by the team, representing Nebraska's toughest and most respected players, a tradition brought in by current Husker coach and former Temple head coach Matt Rule.
That tradition that he brought in, obviously, he wanted us all to be bought into his philosophy and his ways. So I was going to buy in 100% because I wanted to do what was, needed to win, and being able to, earn that single digit from my fellow teammates and, kind of have myself be looked on as, the standard of the program and as one of those guys to represent everyone else. I mean, it's a true honor and privilege that I take part.
Now Robinson will work to help keep the standard of excellence with the Eagles defensive line. Amy Fadool, NBC Sports Philadelphia.
That's
awesome
great
stuff.
I mean, come on. I mean, he wants to be a pediatrician. You imagine him putting his hands on you? Yeah, he'll do a great job with his hands.
He's very gentle.
He's going to put his hands on some offensive players first, though. But, yeah, pediatrician,
when
I love
he's done.
it. Yeah, when he's done, yeah.
And when you look at this defensive line right now, and we talked about this in the last segment, you have Jalen Carter, now you have Jordan Davis, who has the opportunity to earn that starting position, kind of the first time in his career here with the Eagles, Moro Jomo. So now the question is, Ty Robinson, how much is he actually going to play? Well, I think that depends on a lot of if Jordan Davis is going to take this spot or not.
Yeah, exactly. If Jordan Davis goes out there and imposes his will at that position, it's going to be hard for him to get on the field. But we know that this Eagles offensive line, the defensive line, we know these guys like to, run the guys through. They run guys through. First and second down, Jordan might be in there. They might bring in Ty Robinson then, Moro Jomo then. You got to earn the right to be on the field, especially at the defensive line. But if you get out there, show that you can play, keep those linebackers clean, and impose your will, press that, offensive guard back, he'll have plenty of time on this team out there on the field.
He looks the part, that's for sure. As it's time now for Birds Trivia as we head to break. Jordan Davis won the Chuck Bednarik Award as the country's best defensive player during his last year at Georgia. Of course, the award named for the Eagles and Penn football legends. So we're asking, aside from Jordan Davis, who is the other award winner to have played for the Eagles? That answer in a moment. Plus, the Cowboys went back to the trenches once again early in the draft, but should they have opted for another weapon for Dak Prescott instead? We assess the draft for the Dallas Cowboys in a moment. We are back with Birds Trivia. Before the break, we asked, aside from Jordan Davis, who is the only other Chuck Bednarik Award winner to have played for the Eagles? And the answer is, Barrett, who do you think it is?
You know, it's Ndamukong Suh. They would do this because he's a Nebraska guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a Nebraska guy. You know, played for the Eagles in 2022, won the Chuck Bednarik Award in 2009 at Nebraska. And at Nebraska, he was nasty, too, real nasty.
Yes, he was. Now we continue to look at how the rest of the NFC East fared in the draft. And today, we look at who everyone wants to talk about. The Dallas Cowboys. They had the 12th pick overall and came away with a guard, Tyler Booker, out of Alabama. In round 2, they added South Jersey native Donovan Ezaraku, a pass rusher. And in round 3, they added a cornerback. But Barrett, starting with Booker, I was over at the Eagles draft party. Everyone was thinking they're surely taking receiver here. They go offensive line, and everyone's laughing, saying, same old Cowboys to screw this up. What do you think?
Well, you know what? I think this may be something that, you know, we need to look at as far as what they're doing there. You see, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I think that's exactly what they're doing. They are going out and building their offensive line. They're not worried about the weapons. They're worried about getting their offensive line straight. You look at the past couple of years, the first and second round, all they've done is, go out and draft offensive linemen. Right now, they got Cooper Beebe, Kansas State guy, as their center, and then a bunch of Tylers. Tyler Guyton's probably the worst out of the bunch. But you look at Tyler Smith, man, this guy has turned into a good player in the NFL. He's one of the top guards right now. And this Tyler Booker, he's okay also. He could, turn out to be a pretty good pick also. He's physical. He's one of those guys who can get the hands on you. When you get your hands on you, can't get them off. But, he lacks a little bit of athleticism. But, hey, we're talking about a brawler. So that might be what they're doing. They're trying to get their offensive line straight so they can go out and get weapons that they can throw to. It doesn't make sense to have weapons if you can't throw to them.
Right. And Dak Prescott buying him some time, trying to keep him upright. While it's a boring pick, it does make sense. I think just everyone was expecting them to take receivers.
Yeah, they were. I was expecting also. Yeah, I was too. Yep.
It does kind of seem like the safe pick. But we talked, for months about Donovan Ezaraku as the pass rusher and how talented he was. This is going to be maybe a game wrecker in a couple of seasons here, Barrett.
Absolutely. I'm not worried about him with us, but he'll be somebody that you can go out. You have to allocate some resources to him, bring a chipper to him. I mean, I'm not worried about because Lane Jordan Mailata will tear him apart. He's too little for him. But, hey, he's a really good player.
Yes, he is. And it's going to be interesting how the Dallas Cowboys fare because as of right now, not a ton of weapons to throw to. But we'll see what happens.